بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإن تستفتحوا فقد جاءكم الفتح نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر وسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Shukran, Sayyid Imam C. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Gracious and eternal Father, we, the TRRC, and the populace of this nation, the Gambia, continue to submit ourselves under your direction, your protection, your providence, your forgiveness, your reconciliation, and also for us to be able to come out with the facts and for us to be able to discern the truth from what is not truth. Help us as we seek out the truth, that the truth will come out. And as we seek to build the wounds that have been healed, that the wounds that have been brought about in this land, that they will be healed, and the reconciliation will be made possible in your name. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bishop. Council, are we ready with the witness this morning? Please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning to you all. We are ready to call the next witness. May I ask the usher to bring in the witness and to swear him to testify. Could you remain standing, please, while you take the oath?
I, Sait Darboe,
I, Sait Darboe,
do swear that I will speak the truth,
the truth,
the whole truth,
and
nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me Allah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please take a seat, please. Mr. Darboe, kindly turn on your microphone and leave it on, please. Turn on the microphone using the green button. Thank you. And please, when you answer questions or when you speak into the microphone. And is it possible, sir, for you to take off your glasses so that the commission would,
sir.
would see you?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Darboe, to the TRRC.
Thank you.
We are grateful that you have agreed to come and share your knowledge about what happened in Gambia during the 22 years of the Jammeh administration. Thank you for agreeing to come to do this. My name is Esa Fall. I'll be leading your evidence today. And I have questions to ask of you. And if you do not understand the question, please ask me to clarify. And please feel free to say anything that you wish to say in vernacular if you need to. We would take your testimony, of course, in English, but if you need to say anything in vernacular, be it Wolof, Mandinka, Jola, whatever local language, please feel free to do so. In the meantime, turn on your microphone and leave it on. We don't want to subject you to the ordeal of going on and off all the time, putting it on and off all the time.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I would wish to discuss several topics with you. First would be your biographical information. That is your names, where you went to school, your career. The second topic I would like to discuss would be the events surrounding the July 22nd coup d'etat. That is a topic the Commission has had extensive evidence, but nonetheless, since you were a participant and you know something about it, we would hear your evidence about that.
Thank you.
Thereafter, we would talk about the events in the army after July 22nd. What was the feeling, the mood of the soldiers in the barracks? And then we would discuss the attempted coup d'etat of November 11, 1994, how that coup d'etat was dealt with by members of the junta, and the killings that occurred during the period, what you know about that, and the life in the army after November 11, how some of the soldiers were treated, and what happened to you during the period until you left the army.
Thank you.
Are we together?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
What are your full names, please?
Sir, my full name is Sait Darboe.
When were you born?
I was born in 1970, January 1st, in Bakau, Kachikali.
And where did you attend school?
I attended primary school in Balangar Primary School.
Mr. Darboe, you don't have to state your answer very quickly. Give it a few seconds so that our speeches would not overlap. And that would also give the interpreters time to interpret what I say before they start interpreting what you say. You understand?
Thank you, sir.
Good. So just count 3 seconds before you answer, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. You went to school at Balangar Primary School, correct?
Yes, sir.
And thereafter, you went to Kaur Secondary School and you finished in 1989.
Correct, sir.
And you joined the Gambia National Army in 1989, correct?
Correct, sir.
What intake was that?
Intake number 14, sir.
You may cut the sir if you can, and that would...
I trained with intake 14.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us when you finished that training?
That training took us almost 9 months. It took us 9 months.
And that you must have finished therefore in 1991.
1990. We start our training in 1990. Then we finish 91, around February.
And what rank did you attain upon finishing your training?
After finishing my training, I remained to be a private soldier up to 94.
Where were you posted as a private soldier?
I was posted at Yundum Barracks after my training.
Which company did you work for?
I was working under Eco Company, E-Company, Eco Company.
And did you have cause or reason to leave the Gambia at any point during that period?
Yeah, in 1991, I went for a mission in Liberia, peacekeeping, where we spent 10 months. After 10 months, we came back to Gambia, 92.
And when you came back to Gambia, where were you posted?
I was posted at Yundum Barracks.
And this time at Yundum Barracks, you was with the Eco Company, correct?
Yes, sir.
And who was the company commander?
At that time, Captain Momo Cham was my company commander. No, sorry. Captain Lai Conte. Captain Lai Conte was my company commander.
And who were your platoon commanders?
My platoon commander was Omar Mbai, Lieutenant Mbai, OB Mbai.
Who were the other platoon commanders within that company?
You have Lieutenant Bayo, I think Bayo, Lieutenant Mendy, Paul Mendy is late. Yes.
You worked in this Eco Company until 1994, correct?
Yes, sir.
In 1994, who were your platoon commanders in Eco Company?
Lieutenant Edward Singate, Lieutenant Obimbai,
That is sufficient for our purposes. If you can't remember the rest.
yeah, I remember this once.
Okay. So up to since your return from Liberia from 1992 to 1994, you were with Eco Company, correct?
Correct.
And Edward Singate was one of your platoon commanders, correct?
Correct.
During this period, say in 1994, did you have cause to discuss matters about welfare in the army with any of your senior officers?
Yes, sir. We used to have discussions with Edward Singate, who do sometimes come to us.
What was his rank?
Lieutenant Edward Singate. He used to come to us, talk to us, ask us, how do you see the army? How do you see the Nigerians heading our army? And how do you see the government towards the soldiers? Especially I myself, I used to answer, sir, as we all know, that everything is corrupt, both in the army and in the government. Then he used to tell us, don't worry, we are up to something. When we get settled, you people will be informed. And I asked him, what is that, sir? He told me that, don't worry, Sait Darboe. Later you will know. Yes. Then after, for a while, they themselves, they used to have meeting in the barracks, behind the barracks.
If you say they, who are you referring to?
When I say they, I'm referring to Lieutenant Yaya Jame at the time, Lieutenant Edward Singate, and Lieutenant Sadibu Hydra. These three people used to have meetings somewhere behind the barracks those days. Then,
Do you know a person called Lieutenant Basiru Baro?
yes, very well.
Do you know whether he used to participate in those meetings or not?
No, he never participated during that meetings. But
All right. You said these three used to hold meetings in Bahamas.
thank you.
Where is Bahamas?
Bahamas, this is behind the Yundum barracks, the west side of the Yundum barracks.
So you call that place Bahamas, right?
Bahamas.
Okay, and can you tell us about those meetings?
Those meetings, normally Edward used to brief us because we were not used to Yaya Jammeh. Yaya came to the army in 92. We were not used to him, but we were used to Edward Singate and Sana Sabali. Then Edward used to come to us and talk to us, especially Eco Company. We were the company that they wanted to use to do the coup d'etat, 1994. So Edu used to come to us, some of us in Eco Company, myself, and brief us about their meeting, that they want to get rid of this, they want to get rid of the former government. So what they need from us is our support.
Let's clarify a few things. When you said they wanted to get rid of the former government, which government are you referring to?
The Sir Dawda Jawara's government.
Could you tell us at around what time these meetings took place, in terms of date, please?
In the morning.
I mean in terms of date.
This was June, early June.
Of which year?
94. That time, the former president was not inside the Gambia. During those meetings, he traveled.
What were the objectives of this group? This group you called junta, or this tripartite group of Yaya Jammeh, Lieutenant Yaya Jammeh, Lieutenant Edward Singate, and Lieutenant Sabali.
Yeah, just to get rid of the former government, which was the government of Sir Dawda, and bring a new government which will replace that government.
How were they to do this? Do you know?
Yeah, Edward Singate, especially, we used to receive information from him.
Yes, the question I ask is, how were they going to get rid of this government? What means were they going to use to get rid of this government, the PPP government of Sir Dawda Jawara?
Yeah, because without we, the junior ranks, they could not have done this coup d'etat. So it's because of we, the junior ranks at that time, the private soldiers and the lance corporals, they use us to back them, to fight for them, which we did.
So essentially, from what you are saying, they were to use force of arms in order to forcibly remove the Jawara government. Is that what you say?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Can you tell us what was the operational plan to carry out? Perhaps let me rephrase it. Did they brief you as to how this coup was to be carried out?
Yes, they briefed us because the coup, we're supposed to do it on the 21st of July. That 21st, Jawara was supposed to come from abroad, overseas. Then the plan was that immediately he arrived at the airport, he will be gunpoint by Edward Singate. And then Yaya Jammeh was armed with pistol. He was the one who's supposed to fire shots in the air to tell the people that, to show everybody that we have taken over. Let Sir Dawda surrender. At that time, Sana Sabali was inside the barracks, was inside Yundum. with a platoon of soldiers, well armed. He was the one who was supposed to come to the airport gate and blocked it if Saudawda was arrested at the airport. Because at that time we are not armed. We were just carrying empty rifles. But Sana with a platoon in the camp, they were well armed. But unfortunately, things doesn't go as how it was planned at the airport.
At this stage, did you have any plan with regards to other government facilities, installations, and barracks?
At that time, yes.
Can you tell us?
The plan was, at that time, to fight and capture the airport, to fight and capture Fajara barracks, to fight and capture the State House.
Do you know to who else this plan was communicated to?
A lot of soldiers, especially Echo Company.
Can you tell us what happened on the day appointed to carry out that coup d'etat, the day Saudawda was to return from his trip?
Yeah, by the time we went to the airport for the guard of honor, we went there, we all fall in, but before going, they first searched us in the barracks. I think RSM Jeng, they inspect our weapon, you cock your weapon, you tilt it, they check whether there is round or empty case. When there is no round, no empty case, they tell you fire, you fire, save your weapon. This was done at the barracks. Then from there we boarded the Beagle, the military truck, to the airport. We went to the airport, things was confused through the movement. Then we were standing. Later, they came, RSM Jeng was there. They start inspecting our weapons again to check whether we carried live rounds or not. No live round was found. But Yaya Jammeh was armed with pistol. Edward too was armed with pistol. These people were disarmed right at the airport. They seized their arms. Then from there, the guard of honor was not done. We went back to barracks with frustration, thinking what next will happen, because the coup d'etat didn't work. Everything failed. So by the time we came back to the barracks, that very July 21st, a lot of soldiers have left and went home. Then some of us who were there, we have meeting with Edward Singate, Sana Sabali, Sadibu Hydra. We told them that, sir, don't worry, we can still make it. And I will add one thing. That time they were all ready to run, to leave the country. Each of them was having his passport inside his pocket. Then we told them that, don't worry, sir, we can still make it. What we're going to do is, we're going to capture this camp, these barracks, as from now, whereby anybody getting into the barracks, you will be gunpoint, hands up. We tell you that we control the barracks. Are you in for us or not? If you are in for us, we arm you. If you are not in for us, we park you in the cells.
At this stage, who was the de jure, well, let me rephrase that. At this stage, who was the commander of the Gambia National Army?
At that time,
Far as you know, as
yeah,
far as you know.
at that time it was Lieutenant Colonel Dada from Nigeria.
Do you know whether this army commander had taken any decision regarding the coup or the attempt or the planned coup that was to take place on 21st July at the airport?
My own understanding is that no, the Nigerian they don't play any role.
Do you know whether he had taken any decision with regards to those who were planning the coup?
No idea.
Do you know whether any decision was taken to arrest those officers who were suspected of planning the coup?
Yes, of course.
Could you tell us, please?
Because Lieutenant Basiru Baro, that July 21st, that evening, he talked to Yaya Jammeh. He tell him that he speak to Yaya Jammeh in Mandinka that Ndoke, ngalong albemenna, but don't worry, I will not arrest you. Instead, I will join you. We do the operation. This was said to Yaya Jammeh by Lieutenant Basiru Baro, July 21st.
Do you know whether the army command made any decision regarding the fate of those who planned to carry out the coup?
Yeah, of course, they make a decision because Yaya Jammeh and the rest of the juntas, they're supposed to arrest them that Friday morning. They're supposed to be arrested that Friday morning. They were aware of what was going on, but they were not sure. They planned to arrest Yaya Jammeh, Sadibu Haidara, Edward Singate, and yes.
During your meeting at night, when the men told their officers, don't worry, we can do this, we will take over the barracks. Did those officers know that there was a plan to have them arrested the next day?
Of course, they all know. They all knew about it.
You told the commission that during that meeting, it was agreed that any officers who come into, you will take over the barracks, any officers who come in would be asked to either join or be arrested. That's what you said, correct?
Correct, sir.
Can you tell us what else, what other decisions were made during that meeting?
Yeah, then after that meeting, then we get control of the barracks. We get control of the barracks that night, starting from 12 o'clock in the morning. Anybody comes in, we gun point you, hands up. Are you info? Yes. You go and pick up your arms. If you are not info, we put you in the cell until around 8 o'clock, no, until around 5 o'clock in the morning, a.m. That 5 o'clock a.m., we're supposed to move from the barracks to go and attack State House and Fajara barracks. But it didn't possible because of one sergeant called Sergeant Mane. He was the one who was assigned to field the military trucks, fill them with petrol, and each truck he leave the key there. So what happened was around 5 o'clock a.m., we were ready to move. Then Stanasabali with some men, they went to his residence to ask him whether he filled the trucks or not. Then Sergeant Mane was nowhere to be found. They start beating the doors, breaking the windows. Sergeant Mane, he was nowhere to be found. He left the barracks and went home. So they came, we were all frustrated, no vehicle. Then we were waiting until around after 8, 9, there was no vehicle to transport us. We decided to break the barracks, jumped over the fence, went to the highway. There we start seizing vehicles.
At this point in time, did any officers come to the barracks at all?
Yes, of course, lot of officers were there. Captain Johnson.
What happened to those officers?
They were arrested, most of them.
Can you tell us who was arrested?
Yeah, Obimbai was the first to be arrested because they'll arrest him July 21st, that night. He was the duty officer. He was the first one to be arrested. I remember this. Then came the adjutant, Sirif Gomez. That morning, he was arrested and escorted to the prison cells. You know, if I can remember, Johnson, Wilson, Captain Wilson, a lot of them were arrested.
Are you sure about Captain Wilson? We received
Wilson,
evidence that he was not present at the Windom barracks at this time.
Yeah, but this Sirif Gomez, Obimbai, these were the first officers to be arrested. This I confirm.
Okay. You said they looked for Sergeant Mane. They could not find him. Do you recall the first name of Sergeant Mane?
No, I don't.
And this event occurred, you said, the day after Jawara arrived from his overseas trips. Could you tell us exactly which day this was?
This was early hours of July 22nd.
Of which year?
94.
So some of the men were, upon not seeing or not finding Sergeant Mane, there were no vehicles. You jumped the fence and went to the road. Can you take it up from there? What happened thereafter?
Yeah, by the time we jumped over the fence, went to the road, from there we start seizing, I would call it seizing people's vehicles, private cars and minibuses. Then after it was drive to the barracks. From there,
you made it like some of you had to jump over the fence to go to the road. At this stage, we imagined that you had control over the barracks. Why was it necessary to jump over the fence to go to the road?
Because there was no transport. There was no vehicle to transport us to Banjul.
The question is, why did you need to jump over the fence when you could just walk through the gate?
Yeah, because going through the gate, it will take you time. But to jump over the fence is more quicker. It will take you seconds. You know, to jump the fence and get to the road will take you seconds than to go through the main gate, because the main gate is far.
You guys were in a haste, weren't you?
Of course, we were in a haste because if not, they would have arrested these people. The junta, Lieutenant Yaya Jammeh, Lieutenant Sanasabali, Lieutenant Sadibu Haidara, and Lieutenant Edward Singate. So that was the only thing we could have done to make sure that, we have transport or vehicles to transport us.
Did you eventually commandeer any vehicles?
I myself, no.
I'm sorry, pardon me for that. I mean the group that went out on the road. Did they eventually commandeer any vehicles? Let me break it down. Did you seize any vehicles when you went on the road?
Yeah, we do. This is what I mean. We seize, of course. We do.
What happened after that?
After seizing the vehicle,
Yes.
we drive to the barracks and allow soldiers who we are loyal to get on board to go and carry out the mission. And that's what's happened.
And how was the mission carried out?
Then after voting the vehicles, we first reached the airport gate, that July 22nd. Then Lieutenant Edward Singate dropped with 4 soldiers. They went to the airport and they seized the airport from the gendarmes who were guarding the airport at the time. Then we proceeded to Jimpex. By the time we reached Jimpex, I will add, after Edward Singate left to the airport, we came up to the art station, Abuko, Gamtel. Then there, Sanasabali dropped with some men. They went inside the Gamtel, start disconnecting everything, anything like cable, wire, start disconnecting everything. You know, after that, some gendarmes were arrested who were guarding there and escorted to Yundum Barracks. Then from there, we proceeded. We came up to Jimpex. There we stopped. We divided into 2 groups. I joined Sanasabali and Sadibu to go and attack Fajara Barracks. Then Lieutenant Jame with Captain Sonko, Kenyaleng Mansu, went to Banjul. I and Sadibu Haidara, Edward Singate with few soldiers, we were not up to 2 sections. We were less than 15 soldiers who went to Fajara Barracks.
Could you say again, tell us about who led the group that went to Fajara Barracks? Was it Singate or was it Sabali?
It was Lieutenant B. Sabali.
At this stage, where was Lieutenant Edward Singate?
Edward Singate, he met us at Jimpex. Then he went with Yaya Jame and Captain Sonko to Banjul.
So your group veered off to Fajara Barracks?
Correct.
You said how many soldiers were you?
We were less than 2 sections, not up to 15 soldiers. Not more than 15 soldiers. It was less than 2 sections.
How were you armed, your section?
I was carrying that day RPG with my Kalashnikov. Rocket-propelled grenade launcher.
As well as a Kalashnikov?
As well as the Kalashnikov with more than 8 magazines of containing live round.
You were going to fight a war?
I was having more than 5 RPG to 6 RPG cells.
You were going to fight a war?
Of course, it was the mission.
How about your colleagues?
The same thing. Some of them were armed with GPMGs, LMGs.
We are not soldiers, so educate us a little bit about these weapons. What are GPMGs?
GPMG is General Purpose Machine Gun. Yes, it's a heavy machine gun that can carry up to 500 rounds, can fire up to 500 rounds. You know, within minutes.
Is it the one with the stand?
Exactly, with the bipod, 2 legs. You have different types. You have the LMG, you have the GPMG.
And you told us GPMG means General Purpose Machine Gun.
Correct.
How about LPMG?
LMG.
LMG, excuse me.
That's the light machine gun.
that is the Rambo type machine gun, is it?
Yes, yes, with the belt.
And you all went to Fajara barracks. Can you tell us what happened there?
Yeah, we went to Fajara barracks. We entered through the back gates behind the school, primary school. That is where we penetrated. By the time we get into the barracks, we start firing in the air to confuse the situation. We start opening fire, automatic fire. Then we show them the gendarmes. We are running, leaving their buildings, running somewhere, jumping over the fence, running, shouting with their wives, with their kids, but we were advancing towards the guard room, because the guard room was the target. That is where they have their armory. And without capturing the armory, we were nowhere. So our target was the armory. As we were firing towards the armory, I think we were just about 100 meters before the armory. Then they start to fire at us, the gendarme. They were shooting at us. Honestly, I cocked my RPG, want to return fire. Then Sansabali told us, no, don't fire. Wait until we suffer casualty. Let's move. There, we continue the move, firing. But definitely we were ready to blow the guard room and the armory with our RPGs. Because by the time we were out, we were going for two things: the State House or the graveyard. Yes, July 22nd.
You were ready for both?
Yes, for both. Into the State House or into the graveyard. Yes.
Why were you that determined?
Yeah, because, man, we were expecting to fight, to have face resistance from the gendarmes. And then definitely, if we go up to an extent of firing each other, expect that anything could happen. You can kill, you can be killed too. So that's it. We were ready, definitely, to kill and destroy them. Or they surrender. Luckily, they surrendered.
For how long did the firing last?
Lasted for minutes, nothing more than 15 minutes. We finished with them. Arrest lot of them, hundreds of them. And later, transport them to Yundum barracks, where they were detained. Yes.
You were just around 15 in number.
Of course, we were around 15, but we are professional soldiers, remember. We train to fight. We are not trained to arrest. We are trained to fight, and we are properly trained. And those days, what we used to say is one soldier equivalent to 10 gendarmes.
That is just military bravado, but,
but
the gendarmes were also trained, weren't they?
But the training was different. It was different, definitely. The train we received and the train that they received was different.
Yes, there was a lot of inter-service rivalry.
Of course.
But
yes.
You also appreciate that the gendarmes were trained, weren't they?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you ran over Fajara barracks. How did you manage to secure the place?
Yeah, after capturing the armory, then San Sabali was standing right at the armory that day. Then he called Sergeant Jawara. He told Sergeant Jawara that get 2 soldiers or 3 soldiers, you go to the back gate opposite the petrol station, and build a checkpoint there. I myself, with Modu Lamin Ba, ML, and Sergeant Jawara, we went there to build a checkpoint, stopping any vehicle getting into Bakau or going out of Bakau. We were there until later. Then Sanasabali called me. He assigned me with the former interior Sonko, Sisaho Fati, to go and disconnect the Gamtel house at this place, Kereva Avenue. He told us to go there and cut all the wires to make sure that no communication get into the Gambia or go outside the Gambia. So we drive up to that place with Captain with Sonko. Then he was a sergeant. I know he feared.
What was his full name, this Sergeant Sonko?
Usman Sonko.
Did he later attain any position in government?
Yeah, he was a minister of Interior later.
That was subsequently?
Yes, sir.
So you went with Sergeant Usman Sonko, you said. And
Yes.
who's the other person you went with?
I remember Sisaho Fati.
What was his rank at the time?
Sisaho, private soldier.
So where exactly did you go?
Yeah, we went up to the gate, then Sergeant...
The gate of which place?
Gamtel, Kereva Avenue. Then he decided to... he don't get in. Then I asked him, sir, why we don't get in and do what Senator told us? He just drive. He don't answer to me. He just drive. Then we drive to Serakunda police station. We went to Serakunda police station. There we even opened fire, shots. Then people start running, coming from the market, saying, what happened? What is going on? Then we told them that no, we came from Liberia, because that time we don't want to confuse the situation. We told them that no, we came from Liberia, we are demanding our pay. The government, they refuse to pay us, so that is why we are out. I remember, this we told some of them in the market. Then from there we drive to Yundum Barracks. There we met Lieutenant Basiru Baro. We collect ammunition, lot of ammunition from Basiru Baro to take it to Fajara Barracks. We went to Fajara Barracks, we dropped their ammunition. Then Sanasabali told us to continue.
One point, Mr. Witness, sorry for cutting you off. Okay. At this stage, who was in charge of Fajara Barracks, of Yundum Barracks?
It was Lieutenant Basiru Baro, to my own understanding.
So you said it was Lieutenant Basiru Baro who provided you with the ammunition, correct?
Correct, sir.
Okay. And with the ammunition, you left for Fajara Barracks?
Yes, sir.
Can you continue with your story?
Then we went to Fajara Barracks. We dropped there some ammunition. Then Sana told us that go to Denton Bridge and drop there too. Then we drive to Denton Bridge. Our soldiers were there. We supplied them with ammunition. Then we continue. Then by that time, Yaya Jammeh and his group, they were just around mile 2. There we met them. Then Samba Jallo was the one who was driving the truck. Then we called him. He stopped.
Samba Jallo, what was his rank at the time?
At that time, he was Lance Corporal or private. I don't remember 100%, but Lance Corporal, maybe.
Do you know what happened to the radio communications facilities at Fajara Barracks?
No, I don't among those who went to that place, no.
So now your narration, you explained that you've gone as far as Denton Bridge.
Yes.
And Yaya Jame and his group were at mile 2.
Exactly.
And Bachamba, Lance Corporal Bachamba Jallo
Right.
was the one driving the truck.
Behind them, yes.
Can you
Then
explain
from there we drop the ammunition with bike. Then after, drive back to Fajara Barracks, meet Sana. We told Sana that yes, mission are completed. We dropped the ammunition. Now we are back. Yes.
And how about the other mission you were asked to go for? That was to go to the Gamtel at Kairaba Avenue. Did you guys do what you were tasked to do at that particular location?
No, we don't. Because we're supposed to go and disconnect everything. But we didn't do it.
Did you inform Sana that you did not do what you were supposed to have done?
No, we never inform him. We never.
And when you returned to Fajara Barracks and you told Sana mission accomplished, what happened next?
What happened next? Then from there, I continued. I went back to my normal place where I used to be at the checkpoint. Then I continue to be there up to the next day, July 23rd. Then I was posted to the State House. July 23rd, I went to the State House.
As what?
Escort.
For who?
The juntas.
Were you assigned to any particular member of the junta?
At that time, I used to follow the convoy Yaya Jammeh. When he used to have meetings around the Combo area, I among those.
And can you tell us about the formation of the government after the soldiers have taken over State House?
Yeah, after the taking over, 1994, I would say they failed us because I remember Edward Singate. They give us a lot of promises that if we succeed, they would allocate us plots of land. We will be promoted. Definitely our life will change. And definitely none of these things happened. We were frustrated with the juntas. Later,
For now, let's first talk about the formation of the government, the formation of the council. What do you know about that?
Anyway, Yaya Jammeh, I don't know a lot about Yaya Jammeh. But I know about Edward, Sana Sabali, and Yankuba Ture. Edward is a kind of person that is hard to predict, hard to know. Sometimes he is blue, other time he is white. Sana Sabali, we all know him, very short-tempered. Yankuba Ture, He's just like a comedian, you know, very funny guy, you know. They, they are like that, you know.
Do you know how the council was formed?
The council, yes, my own understanding, that July 22nd, definitely Basiru Barrow, to our expectation, he's supposed to be the chairman. Basiru Barrow. We were all expecting that Basiru will be announced the chairman. Because if I remember, people they say it was Captain Sonko who went to announce, but no, it was Barrow who made the first announcement that the military has already taken over, so let everybody stay calm and quiet. Later, we will announce the coup members. Then from there, we were expecting that Barrow will be the chairman. By the time Barrow came back from that announcement to the State House, he get into the State House. At that time, all the council's members were seated. Lieutenant Yaya Jammeh, Lieutenant Sadibu Haidara, Lieutenant Sana Sabali, Lieutenant Edward Singate, and Yankuba Ture. They were all sitting down at the State House.
At this stage, was Mr. Yankuba Ture, was Lieutenant Yankuba Ture really present?
You know,
At this stage, was Lieutenant Yankuba Ture present?
yeah, he was invited, I think, that very day by Sana Sabali. You know, he was not part of the council, but he was invited by Sana because he's a close friend to Sana. They went to course together, so they were a friend. Then it's Sana who invited Yankuba Ture to join the council members. But Basiru Barrow, Edward Singate, Sadibu Haidara, Sana Sabali, these guys were there sitting. Then by the time Barrow arrived from this announcement, he came and get into the State House. What happened was, they all stood up and saluted him like this. Sir, that's the seat. Barrow gets seated like this for a while, and he said that he cannot be the chairman because he have this problem to speak in front of the public. Believe me, it's the truth. From there, Sana Sabali pulled out his pistol to Yaya Jammeh and told Yaya Jammeh, you are the chairman. Yaya tell him that you are the vice chairman. From there, Barrow was sent to Yundum Barracks. Then Yaya, this is how he get the luck to be the chairman. But we are not expecting that he is going to be the chairman, definitely. Because most of us, we were not used to him, and we believe, the belief that we have was that Yaya is not a soldier, he cannot lead us. It was in fact because of Captain Sonko, some soldiers followed him to Banjul. But if it was only Yaya Jammeh, definitely the truth, no single soldier would have followed him. You know, because he is not a tactical soldier. He cannot even lead a platoon at that time, much more a company.
He was not soldier enough.
No, he was
to
not
your
soldier
own
enough.
definition.
Yeah, of course, and this is the truth.
Can you tell us what time, if you can recall,
Yeah,
Basiru Barrow went to make this announcement?
This was around, it was in the afternoon, around 5, I don't know, 5, 6, the first announcement, if I remember. Yes.
And this was on the 23rd of July, correct?
Yes, sir.